I'm gonna customize some jeans with bleach, fabric dye, paint, and so much more, and I'm gonna teach you guys step by step how to replicate this process to make your own baggy jeans unique. And by the end of the video, I'll have a crazy pair of jeans that might just be the coolest pair I've ever made. Today I'm gonna be using these jeans. If you're a regular, you might recognize these from one of my older videos. I know this is heresy around here, but these jeans might be a little too baggy, so I'm gonna quickly take them into my sewing machine and then we can get to the good stuff. First off, I'm gonna bleach the jeans to get rid of as much blue as I can. From there, I'm gonna be dyeing the jeans gray with some fabric dye. And finally, I'm gonna paint some Y2K line designs onto them, similar to these jeans that I made a year ago. And if it all turns out how I hope, these might be the best jeans I've made yet. So let's get going. Like I mentioned, I think these jeans are a little bit too baggy. Crazy thing for me to say given that I built my channel on baggy jeans, but trust me, these ones are too much. To fix this, I took out the inseam flare panel. I'm going to talk about how to make your jeans baggy in a bit, so if you're interested, stay tuned for that. Once I got the panel out, I just went ahead and sewed the seam back together. Super easy stuff. Now let's move on to the cool part. Alright guys, I got them tailored in on the sides here, and this is where the fun starts. My next step is to bleach them to get rid of as much blue as possible. So let's go do that, and I'll explain what I'm doing as I go. I took a bucket and filled it up a bit with water. Then I poured my bleach in. I stirred that around for a bit and then dipped my jeans into that sucker. I had the fan on in my bathroom to try to deal with the fumes, but the bleach started reacting with the plastic and it smelled so bad. Honestly, sorry to my roommates. That one's on me. The apartment genuinely took like a day or two not to smell like a toxic swimming pool. I flipped them over a couple of times and then took them out after 30 minutes. Threw them in the washing machine and poured that awful bleach down the drain. I'm never putting bleach in that bucket again, but let's see how they turned out. I'm not really sure what happened, but what I was expecting to happen didn't happen, which is ironic because this is like a how to bleach your jeans video and I can't even bleach my own jeans. As you can see, they lightened up a bit, but they're nowhere near as light as I need them for when I'm gonna dye them. But I bought more bleach, so we're gonna go ahead and try it again. I think my ratio was wrong. I had too much water and not enough bleach. So this time I'm gonna leave them in for longer, add more bleach, add less water, and we'll see what happens. Honestly, if this doesn't work, I'm scrapping the whole video. So just by the fact that you're watching this right now, you know something cool is about to happen. Alright, try 2. I'm confident I can get it to work this time. My ratios were off last time. I had too much water and not enough bleach. I filled up my bathtub, not that stupid green bin, and put my jeans into the bath. I could see it working a bit, which was very encouraging. I flipped them over a couple of times and then left them in there for an hour and a half. 2 times the bleach and 3 times the time. I took them out of there and then threw them in the wash. It's really hard to tell when they're wet how light they got, but when I took them out, I knew they were good enough. Could be a little lighter, but this will work. Alright, they're done the second time in the bleach and that worked a lot better, and I think they're light enough now that I can go ahead and dye them. I'm going to be using RIT fabric dye today. I'm going to be doing a mix of pearl gray and black. When you're buying RIT fabric dye, you want to make sure that you get these bottles that are for cotton fabric. So yeah, I'm going to go take this RIT fabric dye, I'm going to dye my jeans, and then we can get on to painting them. These are going to look awesome. I've used a lot of fabric dye recently, but only on hoodies, and so I figured why not try it on some denim. I poured my RIT fabric dye in. When you're buying this stuff, make sure to get the regular one and not the one for synthetic fabrics. I also added a bowl of salt and a bit of dish soap. This is supposed to help the dye set and stay in the fabric. I mixed that around and it was time to submerge my jeans in that sucker. I left them in there for about 10 minutes. Notice how dark they look right now because they're wet. They'll look a lot lighter in a second, which you'll see. Anyways, I rinsed them out and then threw them in the wash. I feel like I say this way too much in my videos, but sorry to my roommates again about the bathtub. I gotta do what I gotta do. Anyways, once I kind of cleaned that up, I took my pants out of the wash, which means we can get to the best part of the video. Alright guys, so I'm done dyeing the jeans, and that means it's time for the best part. I'm gonna go and paint these suckers. I got my fabric paint, my paintbrush, and my jeans. First, I'm going to go ahead and draw on them with a pencil, and once I'm happy with my design, I'm going to go over that and cover it with paint. I've never done this before, so let's see how this goes. I've never really painted on jeans before, and so I wanted to trace out guides for me to paint over. I had some photos up on Pinterest to help guide me while I was drawing over my jeans. I want the lines to form a gothic cross shape. You'll see what I mean in a bit. I use this pen that erases under heat. I use it when sewing all the time because I can just iron the fabric and the lines go away. Such a life hack. I'm done drawing. Let's bring out the paint. I just went ahead and painted over all of the lines I just drew, and this part was so satisfying. I'm using specific fabric paint right now, not just some random acrylic paint. So if you want to try this yourself, make sure to use fabric paint. I finished the one side and then I had the brilliant idea to press the two legs together so that I could get the wet paint to transfer the design over onto the other side. And yeah, that didn't really work out for me, so I had to draw the design all over again on the other side. This was tough for me too because I had to make sure they're almost identical. I painted the other side. This one wasn't as clean as the first, mainly because I was trying to make it look like the other side instead of just focusing on making it look as good as possible, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I finished that, and with that, I'm done this crazy pair of jeans. I'm super stoked on how they turned out. I really like the color. It still has a tinge of purple and blue in it. In an ideal world, I would want them pure gray, but beggars can't be choosers. These painted lines turned out so clean, and the jeans have such a nice fit. I'm glad I took that one panel out to make them a little less baggy. Speaking of which, if you want to make your own baggy jeans, go watch this video and you'll end up with some cool custom baggy denim. See you in the next one.